Well, my name's John. This is my husband, Michael, and my dog, our dog, Bella. We used to live in Goodwood. How did we meet?
Mm-hmm.
We met each other at the men's club. It's a club in the city, in Adelaide. And it just took off from there. Now, that was 10 years ago.
Mm.
We've been together since. And in 3 weeks' time, we're going to be married here.
Oh, heavens.
Remember.
It's too long ago.
Too long ago?
Almost.
Almost. First impressions, I thought, oh,
Oh, first impression.
he's a nice young man, I'll have him.
Oh, mm.
And we went home together.
Yes, that's right. We did.
And we've been home ever since. You ready?
Mhm.
What's the question? Oh, when did we realise we were gay? I knew I was gay when I was about 15. That was unfortunately back in the 60s. And it was society's expectation that men would marry women. So I did that and was divorced. Almost 20 years later, the result of my first marriage was a son. After I was divorced, someone else came along and I thought, perhaps I can live with being gay but being married as well. And the result of that marriage was 2 children, a son and a daughter. That marriage lasted just 10 years. And I decided I wasn't going to lie anymore and I wasn't going to live a life that I didn't want to live, and came out of the closet. So, after that, I left my wife and young children and went to Mount Gambier and worked and lived there for 3 years. Then I returned to Adelaide and met a nice man who happened to live in Goodwood, and I moved in with him, and our relationship lasted around 6 years, and then he died. And until I met Michael, I was on my own. That's it from me.
It would have been when I was working in New Guinea, and that understanding sort of developed, but I wasn't prepared to go out and let other people know that that's how I felt. I came back to Australia and I got married, had children, and then that whole thing of where do I fit in this environment became pretty obvious. And it wasn't long after that I met John. He left my wife and was living elsewhere. And then that was it. I didn't go back to living with her and the children at that point.
You can't.
No. So I then moved in and been together since.
Yes.
Yes.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
When I came out of the closet, that was late 90s, I told my parent, my father had died in the 80s. I told my mother, and she said, why didn't you tell me before? And I said, I never gave it a thought really. I'm doing it now because I want to live my life the way I want to live. And my brother, he said, oh, so you're gay. Does that mean you're going to have a sex change? And I said, why would I have a sex change? I like various parts of my own body. Why would I want somebody else's? And my sister said, "Oh, that's really interesting. I've always thought you were gay." And from there, I just blossomed. My family gave me their full support.
Some members of the family, my former wife, wasn't particularly happy with it at all. But that was what happened.
Yeah.
I just moved out and lived separately. Not my children and my wife were still there in St. Peter's, and they still are. And then I just slowly integrated into the larger areas of society, and that was it. I still don't have a great connection with my wife now, but the children, we both
share your children.
share, yeah.
Like you share my children,
Yeah.
and I share your children and your grandchildren.
But my wife at that time is still there with the children, and she was never bitter or angry or anything over the whole thing. That was fine. She was quite happy to let me go, and then we worked together, but outside. Yeah.
Everybody should be able to marry whomever they want, wherever they are.
Yep.
Doesn't matter whether he and I want to be married, or you and him want to be married, or or two girls want to be married. It doesn't matter, because you're born this way. It's not something that you decide, oh, he's a nice looking bloke, I'll have him for the night, or she's a nice looking woman, well, I'll have her for the night, but I don't want to get married. On the other hand, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're straight, you're not gay. But you could be bisexual. Yes, brother. Michael has Alzheimer's disease. Early stages of Alzheimer's disease. He's been diagnosed for just over 2 years. And we weren't exactly shocked and horrified, because Alzheimer's weaves its way through his family. I think for us and for our marriage, it's a way of cementing our relationship and protecting each other from what might happen in the future. I don't know what will happen. None of us know what's going to happen in the future, that's true. But for me, it's a way of protecting him from outside influences that might want things that we're not prepared to give up. And because I'm basically his carer as well, we have a really good, wonderful relationship, I think.
Yes. For me, it's that connection, and we're able to take it and link it together so that it's us.
That's it. It is us.
It is us, yes.
10 years. Did you marry me, Michael?
I'm waiting for that.
Well, you only got to wait 3 weeks.
Yes, another couple of weeks, yes.
That's it.
For like almost 6 years, right?
Almost 10.
Oh,
Over 10.
Apology. Yeah.
10 years.
Almost 10 years. Are you guys satisfied with, each other, with the living?
That's why we're still here.
We wouldn't be getting married if we weren't happy. Would we?